Welcome back. You're watching Business Morning on Channels Television. Let's talk commodities now. And for the program today, we're focusing on the power sector. That's one new aspect that the financial derivatives company is focusing on its usual report on the state of the economy. Okpeyemi Oguntade, who is a senior economic research analyst at financial derivatives company, joins me now to take a look at some of the issues. So good morning to you, Okpeyemi. It's great to have you on the program.
Good morning, Harriet.
So, of course, we know that some of the key issues are coming in from Tuesday's conversation centered around FX. But let's talk a little bit more about this new this new page, let's put it that way, that FDC has introduced, power generation analysis and impact. Give us a sense of where the industry is at the moment.
Okay, so as at the 28th of March 2017, power generation was, average power generation sent out was about 3,819 megawatts. And this will be the fourth consecutive increase we've seen this week, and that is good news. But we're still seeing a significant amount of power being lost to gas constraints. Over 2,297 megawatts are being lost to gas constraints, and this was actually, usually you see a few megawatts lost to water constraints or line frequency, but yet as at the 28th, all constraints we saw came from gas, and this was largely from two power plants which lost about 63 megawatts, and then we also saw that there were some other power plants as well that lost some power due to gas constraints, EGMI, and the other one that we saw that actually lost was due to Kanji Dam. We saw a couple of megawatts lost there as well. But what we're seeing, and then if you look at the estimated loss, it was below $1 billion, and this is the second time we're seeing that happening this month, it being below $1 billion. And then if you're looking at it annualized consecutively this month, an estimated loss of about 34 billion naira has been lost to energy lost.
That would also kind of explain the reason why it seems like some areas have light and some don't. Even the areas you would term industrialized areas, those also have been having challenges with power.
Yeah, a couple of the directors at those power plants have come out to say, look, the reason why we've seen a bit of power outages in these areas is because of the heavy rainfall we saw a couple of days back, and this kind of affected infrastructure, and so they're trying to do some maintenance work to bring that back upstream. But that's usually just a temporary outage. Once maintenance has been done, then they should see power supply improve. But what we've seen this week is that generation has gone up for 4 consecutive days. Constraints are now limited towards gas. We're not seeing any constraints coming from water and line frequency. But at the end of the day, if we look at the dynamics, there's still a lot of money being lost daily due to gas constraints, which is something that we need to sort out sooner rather than later.
And then we also have diesel prices coming down. So it seems as if there's more. We have more customers buying petrol rather than diesel.
Well, I wouldn't say. I would say the reason why we're saying that most likely is because of the improvement in power supply. So there's this demand that has been shifted out, because the major reason why people tend to buy diesel is to power their generators. We also have manufacturers as well. Some manufacturers actually make use of diesel powered generators, while others make use of gas powered facilities to power their plants. But at the end of the day, what we're seeing there is that there's lower demand in that segment, and that's why we're seeing prices reducing to 215. In addition to that, we're also seeing that the naira has appreciated, and we know the diesel market is a deregulated sector. So it is only fair that if you see the naira appreciating, then you should expect that diesel prices would appreciate as well.
Now, then it's also interesting that as we're coming into the end of the week, I read in the papers that distribution companies are asking for over 50 billion naira to buy meters. So at the end of the day, we'll still have the challenge of getting meters to every Nigerian to ensure that we get the right way of payment and the rest of it.
Yes, the discos have, at the end of the day, if you can't, place a meter to exactly determine how much electricity has been consumed by each household. It makes it difficult for these institutions to be financially viable. They already have issues with collection, and there's a lot of financial loss going there. It's almost becoming an insolvent situation, so to speak. So definitely, I think if the CBN could create some form of intervention fund to support their cause in terms of metering customers, so they can get the much needed revenue to sustain the sector, that would be a great development.
I do not want to have an electrified conversation this beautiful Thursday morning, so let's leave this conversation here.
Right.
For now, thank you so much for coming on the program. Okpayemi Oguntade, who is a senior economic research analyst at Financial Derivatives Company. So let's keep talking about commodities. We're talking about the oil and gas stocks now that we track here on the program. There are about 7 of them. And of course, a breaking news story brought into me was that Seplat has released its full-year results for 2016. And according to the results, revenue came in lower from the full year of 112.92 billion naira recorded in 2015 to about 63.3 billion naira recorded for 2016. Profit after tax declined to 45.3, and the company is not proposing any dividend for the period. But yesterday, no data was available in terms of how it was traded on the Nigerian stock market. But let's take a look at the others that were traded on the stock market. We have corn oil remaining unchanged at 35 naira, but a volume of 6,790 units was traded by investors. Forte oil rose 444 basis points to finish at 47 naira. That equity has seen profit taken in the last couple of trading sessions, with we saw a volume of 618,584 recorded. For Mobil, that dropped about 0.76% to finish the day at 295,000. MRS was unchanged at 39 naira 3 kobo. Owando dropped almost 5% to finish the day at 4 naira 83 kobo, and Total rose 3.84% to 269 naira 98 kobo. So a slight improvement in daily index return, even though it's not as impressive as what we saw recorded on Tuesday. That came in at 0.38%. Year to date is at minus 7.3, and we have dividend yield at 2.2%.